Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today in the rebuilding series, we are taking off right where we left off last, and the next team on the list will be the Tampa Bay Rays. As it says, it is the 28th ranked team. They are realistically in the first edition. When they were released on their rankings, they were the 24th team, which is exactly the team we're on right now. So we're going to go ahead and get into the series. GM contracts, I guess we can leave on. I mean, I've been kind of debating that since restarting up again and, uploading more often. And, I mean, I don't feel like I'm going to have to deal with anything like that, but I have actually had that happen once just by trying to simulate into a 10-year management to see what happens to the Tigers or any MLB team within the next 10 years just to see how they end up. And I did get fired in the first time doing that in the first 3 years, which, I mean, you should expect. But let's go ahead, get right into spring training. Go ahead and check out the team, see what's new around the league as far as prospect goes. I mean, I really do like the Rays. To be honest, it's not just about the team, but, the colors, the logo, the jerseys are actually seriously pretty dope. But I would like to see, knowing that I know the Tigers prospects more than anybody, just to see if they just have the first round picks in here or if they are beyond the first round picks. So Reyes, he's not on the list. That's a shocker. Fado, Mize, there's Mize. Do they have the next one on the list? Meadows. And the other one was, what's his name? Roger Clemens' son. And I do not see him, and he was a right fielder, I believe. They were both. One might have been a second baseman, and one was a right fielder, but it does not look like they did update to the second and third rounds yet. So basically, it's the same setup as last time with as far as the roster goes. Not much of a change, too much. But I will do is kind of let you know what we're going to do, and I think the main focus is going to be starting pitching, and then luckily enough, if we can compete within the next year or two, we do have a decently set up catcher who's, isn't it 1 year? Yeah, he's only getting paid for 1 year right now, but he's a pretty darn good pitcher. So if I can clear up some money, pull in some new guys, I think we'll be all set. But I'll go ahead and make some trades, and then when I'm done, I'll show you the new and refreshed team. Back after all the trades, after pretty much rebuilding this whole team. And as you can see, some of the major pickups include Yelich, Iglesias, Corbin, Sano, Cabrera, Rondon, Bedrosian. I don't even want to try. But Mikolas, De Jong, Santana, Sanchez, Olsen, Hildenberg, Rodney, Maya. I think that was roughly the main guys I picked up. Pretty much anybody who's starting. As you can see, the rotation will be looking like that. Bullpen, this is, I don't even understand why this is, but yeah, we'll just roll with it. They probably won't be starting the regular season, but decent bullpen going on here. I think we'll be fairly fine for the season. Lineup's got a lot of power within it. Should be interesting to see what they can make. But go ahead and get through some spring training. As we finish roughly 3 games under 500 mark. Not too bad. I know we'll do much better than the regular season. So I'm going to actually go ahead and fix the bullpen issue and then make sure we're ready for simulation, and then we'll get through season 1. Back as I did make one small trade, picking up Brad Peacock and signing Henderson Alvarez for our long relief role. Bullpen should be fairly decent this year. Looks like we'll stay very consistent. This roster will be very, very interesting to see this year. I wonder who would be a better player to play, him or him. Looks like we'll stick with what's going on. Maybe Robinson will stick through, see how he does by himself there. Okay. Started off the season a little rough, but we are coming back slowly as we are 500 now. A couple games over 500. Going to the second month of the season as we just lost the series to Baltimore. Lose one to Kansas City, take one from Los Angeles. Lose one to Boston, win one against Baltimore, beat Oakland, beat Houston. Lose one against, I want to say Seattle, and then split a series between Washington as we are, wow, what is that, 8 games over 500. We'll go ahead and go to the draft. I will probably just see you guys when I'm done with my picks. We'll show you guys the results and then continue simulating. Try and get through it a lot quicker. We are back as we just finished the simulation of the draft, and we didn't do too bad. I picked the first 3 picks and then I simulated the rest, and it looks like we didn't do good anyways. So I think we'll just leave 2 of those guys unsigned for right now, but good first 2 picks here is, wow. The center fielder guy I was very skeptical on, figuring whether he would be a bust or a superstar. Ends up being an absolute stud, so that's good. And then the other guy, Kevin Ortiz, was our most scouted player, so I just pretty much went with them knowing that that was our best choice. All-star voting, doesn't seem like we have anybody that's leading. Not too worried as we're here to make the playoffs, and I'm not necessarily worried about who makes the all-star game. But as a team, it looks like we're doing fairly good so far as we're 10 games over 500 in our first season with the rebuild. And one thing I did notice with this team is that for a midway team, they had a lot of prospects. And I'm sure anybody who watches baseball knows this. Okay. So the Twins acquire Corbin from us. And we get Zach Duke, Fernando Romero, and Matt Duffy. Not sure how that happened, but let me go ahead and figure this out. And then when I do, I will just get us back to simulating, but I'm not understanding how that happened. Okay, so when I looked through our roster, we did have a couple DL injuries, and a couple of our prospects were down, as well as a guy in our rotation, so that's why Alvarez is playing for us right now, which is understandable. At the halfway mark, we are 12 games over 500. Very good to see for us as a trade has approached, and it's nothing good as usual. Still winning ball games, which is the great thing to see about this team. They never seem to give up, which is great for what we need to see this year, in the past 2 years as well for this team. Hopefully we're able to pull away as we are staying roughly around 10 games over 500, which I'm okay with, especially with the injuries going on. But it'd be nice as we are starting to pull away. Maybe reel in the back end. Can't really tell ever. But I believe we are in the last month of the actual regular season. Hopefully we clinch a spot. And we made the postseason as a wild card, taking on the Red Sox in the first round at 89 and 73, which is fairly decent for our first year team coming back. 11 and 13 for Patrick Corbin with a 4.11 ERA, 14 and 8 for Blake Snell at 3.8 ERA, 13 and 9 for Aaron Sanchez with a 3.5, 8 and 7 for Mike Mokolas, and 10 and 8 for Jacob Faria with a 3.8. Alvarez did, wow, really well this season as a starting pitcher with a 2.83 ERA. Maybe it might be time to bump one of these guys. And I hate to bump Corbin, and I'm probably not gonna. But that really shocked. Corbin did not perform very well. That's the thing, though. I think we'll just leave him where he is. I can't really do much about that. That's tempting. Kiermaier comes back. Only played a half season, I believe. A little more than a half season, and he put up roughly the same numbers he always does, which is good. Cabrera, same thing, performed probably one of his best season of his career. Yelich, not bad, pretty consistent. Could do a little better. Olsen went off. DeJong did his normal routine, as well as Sano, Domingo, Santana did fairly well. Brad Miller, how the heck did he even come back? I don't know. And Maya did fairly good as well. I think Brad Miller is a good idea to keep in there, so we'll go ahead and keep him in there. We're going to go ahead and do a quick manage. As we are going with Patrick Corbin and they go to Chris Sale. The lineup will be looking like this. We'll switch it up just a teeny bit. And we're going to play some ball here. As first inning, we'll get a good hit. And that is it. Second inning, nothing to show for. Patrick Corbin doing fairly decent. Getting through the outs. But then he lets a 2-run bomb. Not what we needed. But what can we do? We have to rely on our ace. If he can't get the job done, then we weren't meant to win. So Corbin lets up 3 runs so far. Sale being perfect. But now he lets up 1 in the 6th inning. Solo shot for Santana as we come back 3-2. Patrick Corbin bringing his ERA down. Lets the guy get hit. And I think we need to pull him. So we're going to go ahead and make a pitching change. And we will pull in... It's kind of hard when you didn't look at your bullpen too much after the season. We'll go with Cam. And Cam gets out of it after a long hit. As we do have a single. Matt Olson's up. Carson Smith comes in. We double, score a run, and is now tied. We take the lead here in the top of the 8th with a 2-run bomb from Asdrubal Cabrera. What a great way to end top of the 8th. So going to the bottom of the 9th as Cam Buestra does allow a double after 2 outs. And trying to figure out who we should put in at this point. We'll put in Hildenberger as he does get the final out for the inning. We come back in the top of the 9th, no runs to show. Hildenberger closes it off, and we do win the American League wild card. Great way to come back for the Rays as we do win 5-3, taking down the really top of the line good Boston Red Sox to take on the Cleveland Indians in the AL, I want to say DS. Corey Kluber will be taking on Blake Snell in the first game. We do win that game. Second game is Aaron Sanchez versus Carlos Carrasco. We lose that game in a close one, 2-3. Corbin coming back to make his showing as we do lose another game, unfortunately. Kluber coming back. It's a tie ball game. It's going to go into game 3. Snell versus Carrasco. And we lose. Fortunately, we lose 3-1. Kept every game pretty close besides when Corbin pitched. But we will get through the offseason quickly, and then I'll show you guys towards the beginning of year 2, show you the results of the offseason, what's changed. And as far as I know, we're probably going to stick with the team as much as possible, maybe sign a guy or 2. Coaches, we'll see what happens with that. But that's about it. See you guys in year 2. Back at the excuse me, guys. Back at the end of the offseason as many changes that I expected to happen didn't happen, but a release of a couple players and a replacement of a couple players did happen, as Givens came in as a new reliever, Danny Salazar. We re-signed Cabrera because he was a free agent. Jose we're bringing in as well. Not even worth trying to pronounce this dude's last name. And that's roughly it. Bobby Bradley as well. But starting 5, roughly similar to last year. Just take away Patrick Corbin, and that's our replacement right there. He did fairly well last year. If he can keep up what he did, I think we'll be okay. But if any changes are need to happen halfway through the year or something like that, I will do so. But right now, we're doing fairly well. So let's go ahead and get underway here. Make sure everything's set on automatic. Yep. And let's go ahead and start to simulate. Now the team did fairly well in spring training, and they won a lot of ball games. But as of right now, it doesn't look like they're winning a lot of ball games like I expected them to. So we are 10 games under 500 as of right now, which is not a good sign. But we lose a series to Baltimore, we lose a series to the Mets, lose a series to Cleveland. won a series against Boston. We are now, I want to say, late 20 rounds pick. 22, okay. I will go ahead and draft, and then when I'm done, I will show you guys the results as last year like I did. The results of the draft are as shown below. I guess the simulation mode didn't work very well with them picking, but I don't think we necessarily need that many prospects as it is, to be honest. Very low overalls. Those are the lowest I've seen in a long time on this game. Wow. I guess it's just not necessarily our season so far, so hopefully we can change things around here. And we slowly but surely might be doing that as we are getting within 5 games of 500. Close out the first month back as we did fairly well. We are now over 500 for the first time. Very interesting to see, as they are willing to offer me a closer who is definitely not worth as much as Dribble Cabrera is in this game, who is an absolute stud and the most consistent player that I have to say in this game that I absolutely love. I know sometimes you might get tired of having him on the team in a series, but I mean, realistically, if it's a need at the time in the position and I don't have the pieces to trade for him, or I don't feel like it's necessarily someone I'd like to go for it, then I will, I won't make that pick necessarily to have him on a team. But I feel in this situation he fitted best with Tampa Bay, made it easy. As you can see in his first season, he broke out, no problems. I mean, whether you guys like him or not, you guys can let me know in the comments below, that kind of thing. And let me know if you like him in the series a lot, or if I need to change it up here and there. I mean, it's basically whatever you guys feel is necessarily the best choice. And yes, we did make the wild card once again, as somehow we turned it around and are 20 games above 500 for the second season in a row. And playing against roughly the same exact team, as Blake Snell finishes with a fairly decent season with a 4.04 ERA though. Jake Faria finished with 8.11 ERA, 5.00. Salazar doing much better, so I'm going to go ahead and put him in the starting lineup. 14.11 for Aaron Sanchez, 4.70 ERA, 11.4 for Mike. Mike doing fairly well. And Hunter Wood, a C potential player, getting a couple innings of work this year, and it seems that he is making the most of it. Definitely good for that dude, man. Definitely. 7.3 for Brad Peacock, 3.2 ERA. Bistro and Leclerc not so great in the fours. Givens, amazing ERA, but the record's something else. Same thing here, except for the record's a little different. And Iglesias, decent ERA, but just the win and loss record. 47 saves on a season is career high. Lineup, we did, I guess, have a switch in right field. I'm not sure why that might be, but trying to think, what would that be for? Is it for Domingo? Is he injured? Yes, that would be correct. As broken ankle for 2 months. Yeah, that's not happening. Janikowski taking over the position there, switching with Cabrera. Oh wow. Our new catcher here coming in, breaking out this year. 20 home runs, 54 RBIs. Not bad for a catcher. Pretty much all-star caliber at that point. Home runs a little bit down from last year. Sano only hitting 251, 10 bombs, but he also only played 3/4 of the season. He didn't play the full thing this year. Understandable. But this Diaz guy, trying to figure out why he's starting off. I mean, I give him credit though, he's done fairly well. But definitely not someone I would like to have leading off for this team. I like to have him towards the lower part of the order. So I will do some switching around here on live and try and get us ready for this playoff game as best as possible, so we're not going to necessarily fail, but perform a decent level here. As there we go. Let's go ahead and get into this wild card game against the Red Sox. I guess we're assuming we're going against Chris Sale, and yes, we are. This time around, it is Blake Snell going against them. A new rivalry once again coming into play in the second straight year in the AL wild card, as Blake Snell, 85 overall, goes against the decreasing Chris Sale, and two pretty darn good lineups heading against each other here. Lowest overall, both lineups, it looks like to be a 78, unless I'm seeing that wrong. A bunch of 90s here on the Rays team, a bunch of 90s on the Red Sox team. Fairly equal team here. Valdez leads it off, ground out. Again, I don't know how he started. I thought I fixed that, but I guess my eyes didn't catch it right away. Seems to be a walk fest here in the second inning against Chris Sale, but Sale does get out of it as double play for Snell helps him save the second inning from any run scoring. Game's cruising along here as Blake Snell's getting hit a little bit too, as a single to score run for Boston. They're down for 2-0 now, with only one run here. As wow, Blake Snell does give up a 3-run homer to Veers, the new rookie, the new guy coming onto the scene for the Red Sox here. So not much to say there. Definitely need some work as we are not able to get anything going. I feel like at this point we might just have to let it be. Oh wow, okay. So it's now 5-4. I'm not going to give him another chance to try and screw this up for us, as we do have a chance. I'm going to bring in Salazar, who seems to be doing whatever he can to help this team out, and he is, as they do pull David Price out of the game. I believe that was not David. I may be incorrect on that. Sorry about the dog again, guys, but we will go ahead and pull in Nate Jones versus Christian Yelich as an error is made, and is now 1 down, 2 down, Asdrubal Cabrera, as I do perform a hit and run, as we will put runners in first and third. Now, can we perform the hit is the question. Miguel Sano, 2 at-bats, no hits so far. Sorry about that, I just had to stop the recording there just to make sure my dog wasn't going to continue barking like a crazy guy. As we do get 2 down easily, 3 down, as Salazar just closed down the inning. Top of the 9th, our last chance here. We'll leave it up to Francisco Mejia, the new catcher on the scene, as he will have to face Craig Campbell. Tough matchup, but he does send up with a single there. I'm going to see if I can do whatever I can to make this possible for us to have a chance. Who's got the highest amount of power? I think we're going to have to put Janikowski in there. No, I can't. We're going to put in Willie Adams to go ahead and try and hit, and he does strike out. We'll pull Valdez. I know we want to actually, we'll give him his chance. There's a reason he was in here. Can he perform is the question. No, he cannot, but he does get a fielder's choice. We're going to have him steal. He does steal. Kevin Kiermaier, it is up to you to save the season, my dude. Can you do it? No, he cannot, as we are eliminated from the playoffs and the second time around with the Red Sox. The game ends in a 5-4. The Red Sox will move on as we are eliminated. I will get through the offseason, get back to you. We'll head in that final season, hopefully pull off that championship ring. Back at the beginning of next year, pitching rotation is roughly the same again. Lineup's the same. I don't think I really changed anything. Might have just added a new DH to take over. Basically, I try to sign a bunch of guys in the off season, but I guess no matter how much I offered, how much times I tried, it wouldn't accept it. So unfortunately, there was no big additions like I would have liked to have had. So we're just kind of going with what we got and just simulate the season as we go. Start off season very nice with a 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 10 record, which is not bad at all whatsoever. Good month to start off with. Looks like the ball games are staying under 10 runs, which is usually a good thing. Anytime you got some ball games that are over 10 runs, then you got to start worrying about your pitching staff and all that kind of good stuff. We were roughly 20 games over 500, and we will have, I believe, 22nd pick again. 24th this time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draft, and then when I'm done, results, and then we'll continue here with the season. Results were nothing good. I let it sim auto draft, and nothing really stood out at all. So this will be the new set team. Not new set team, but the new additions to the team as we come back to a series against the New York Yankees as we do win the series. I'm just going to simulate, try to make it a little faster here. Another winning month, over 500 it looks to be, as we win about 8 or 9 in a row there. So very, very good for this team. Seems like the chemistry just keeps growing and growing and growing with this team, and they just continue to win ball games, as we're roughly 30 games over 500 first time in this series for this team. Out of the 3 years so far, this seems to be their best record yet. I would like to hopefully they don't decline anytime soon and they just keep doing what they're doing. Looks like this month may be close on the 500 mark, as yes it will be. But we start the fresh month out with, a couple wins, a couple losses, split evenly throughout the month of August. Winning series, lose against Baltimore, lose against the Yankees, lose against Cleveland. Now we're getting back into where we were before. Kind of have to win all these games to make it within 100 mark, which won't happen. But we will finish with roughly 90 wins, 92, as we win our division, which is very nice, which is the first we've had all year. Blake Snell does go up to 91 overall with 14-10 record, 3.41 or 6 ERA, 7-4 for Danny Salazar with 4.16 ERA, Jacob Fario 13-10 with a 5.03, 11-12 for Aaron Sanchez with a 4.32. Not what I would like there. Mike kicking butt again, I guess you can say, as he does get a 11-8 record, 3.6 ERA. Bullpen, no one higher than a 4.95 ERA from Jose, but we do get the job done. Our new guy Sam, not even going to try and pronounce it like I thought I would earlier, does fairly well in his second season back with us. 5-1, 3.3 ERA. In his last season he did have 3 losses, but a 2.5 ERA is not bad whatsoever. Lineup, Kevin Kiermaier does have a decent season, not the best. Sano has a very good season. Yelich has a very good season. Matt Olson went off for 49 bombs, 114 RBIs. He's on pace to set some very, very good records. I like to see where that goes. Domingo Santana finishes with 24 bombs. Bobby Bradley, our new DH, finishes with 7. As Dribble finishes with his normal stats as usual. Very good. 3 straight season with 20 bombs plus. I like to see that. And Francisco Maia with 17 bombs and 63, which is his second best. Most RBIs he's had though. And Willie Adams, our rookie who has finally came along, bats for 308 and 6 bombs. Not bad. The bench, nothing too crazy. Richard Urena, I'm going to go with. Not bad. Sorry about that. Obviously my friend really wants me to get on. So, I'll get to him though in a minute. We're going to go ahead and get ready for this postseason, as I jumped the gun a little bit as we are 2-1 against Houston. And we lost. Okay. Not what I would like to have done. I'm sorry about the quick simulation there. But it looks like we do lose. McCullers takes down Snell, who comes in. Danny Salazar wins the second game, and Jacob Faria wins the third game. I would like to say, I guess Precock started that one. Don't know why that is. And Snell did that one. So the losses were not good there. I mean, to me, this team was fairly decent enough to win the game. I just think that a lot of things didn't go the way within the trades and the prospects and the people I could have picked up. Just didn't want to come out of the team. But this guy right here, absolutely stud in this series. So, I mean, I'd like to come back to this one. I will, keep it in my files, make sure it's saved and whatever. But I can come back for this series so that we can continue trying to come back and make the playoffs, win the World Series, that kind of thing. Seems like they're just one player away from doing that. So, the guy does have 99 power right-handed too, I just noticed. But that will be the end of the video for today. The next team is going to be the 23rd team in the series. And I'll see you guys then. Alright, take care.